Welcome back, folks. That's by Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition, The Shadows of Arm. And when last we left off, the party successfully performed the ritual that opened the way to level 2 of Watcher's Keep. And there is a black line here that keeps jiggling left and right that I don't think's meant to be there. It's probably a graphical error. Once we performed the ritual, the party made the mistake of resting, whereupon they were attacked by a group of wandering horrors. They terrified Terry and Dawn, who ran over here to where the active statues were, which joined in the fray. The party barely managed to survive, but I'll take barely surviving over everyone dying. We also got quite a lot of nice loot that we're going to look at once we try resting again. I know I'm tempting fate, but the party really needs to get healed up. And we're under attack, though not by a group of wandering horrors. We're only being attacked by 2 ghasts and 2 mummies. And I say only there because really this fight isn't too tricky for us now. Actually, it is 3 mummies, but we still shouldn't have any real problems. The party is really well equipped to take care of mummies, what with all of the fire damage that we have, and the fact that we just have weapons that hit really hard and really good armor. Remember when mummies used to be tricky? I remember that time, it wasn't too long ago. Now a group of mummies fall with exceptional ease. Especially with Dawn's weapon. Dawn's weapon makes it quite a lot simpler to dispatch them. We'll put this here, we'll drop all of these on the ground because we don't need these anymore, and then we'll try resting again. This time we were successful. Even better, the golem body is now gone. I imagine Corgan moved that away while he was taking watch. It probably annoyed him somehow.
Yes.
With the resting done, it's time to reactivate Stone Skin and take a look at the goodies we got. Starting with these normal arrows that are going to go on the floor. There are some +3 arrows that are going to go in here. There's a longbow +3, we can sell that. We can also sell this halberd +2, and Hexat can make use of those there. As for the final item, I remember what this is. It's pretty good. Usuno's Blade +4. The daughter of a high-ranking official within the bureaucratic society of Karatur, Usuno rejected her family station and carved a legend for herself among the Yakuza of the underworld. The blade of this enchanted ninjutsu crackles with electrical energy. It has a 10% chance of dealing 2d10 electrical damage, provided they don't save versus spell for half. Otherwise, it is a +4 ninjutsu, which is pretty impressive. It may also be one of the weapons that you can upgrade in Throne of Baal. There is a selection of weapons, armor, and miscellaneous equipment that can be upgraded through an NPC in Throne of Baal. You want to make sure that you don't sell things that you may not have a use for now, that you will want to have once they're upgraded. It's a good idea to double check with things. I don't think I've got rid of anything so far that I would want, but from now on I will make sure to check things, because Watcher's Keep is full of items that can be upgraded.
Go bother someone
With resting
else.
done, we're going to pop straight down to level 2. We could go outside, get a bit of fresh air, maybe do a quest or 2, or go to the Da'ani's Hold and see if we need to do anything there, but I don't think the Da'ani's Hold has anything new for us, and as for quests, we really don't have many of them anymore. So down we go.
Very well.
The mirror hums with energy. The gate to below a dungeon is now open.
More suicidal fanatics willing to die in the service of hell, I see. Or have you been forced into service, as I once was a millennium ago?
This is the Chromatic Demon, and this is an NPC that I remember quite well. With this dialogue, we have a couple of questions, and I'm going to follow the final point that he mentioned. Forced into service? What are you talking about?
Sounds like you have been tricked into doing Helm's dirty work. Looks like we are both unwilling participants in this little drama.
Maybe we can barter with this demon. I know! The last time we did that, it didn't end so well. But maybe it will end better this time. I'm just kidding myself, aren't I? Oh, yes I am. But this is a demon that you have to negotiate with. The game demands it. Perhaps you could show me the way down to the next level, and I'll see if I can get us both out of this mess.
Listen, friend. We can help each other. The fact of the matter is, you cannot get through the gate to the next level unless I open it for you.
Always be wary of a demon who calls you their friend. But this demon is correct in the sense that we can't get through here without its help.
So I'm not going to let you go through the gate unless you help me end the enchantment that has kept me bound in this infernal dungeon for the last 1,000 years. Do we have a deal?
What must be done?
Glad you've decided to be reasonable. The Helmites were never reasonable. It is so much easier to deal with one who isn't a fanatic.
Go on. This cage I'm stuck in was fashioned over 1,000 years ago by 4 archmages, who combined the power of 4 diverse elements to imprison me here for all eternity. How can I get you out? The wizards who trapped me here each had a lab on this level of the dungeon, where they worked to fashion the enchantments of my cage. Each wizard created a scepter to focus and channel his power. Only the combined power of the 4 scepters can lock or unlock my cage. I will find the scepters. What next?
Gather the scepter keys and place them in the 4 slots around the cage. Once free, I'll be on my way. And you can go through the gate and take on the imprisoned one. If you still want to.
The chromatic demon seems convinced that we may change our mind in wanting to do this. And also doesn't hold any love for the Helmites, which makes sense, they were the ones that imprisoned him here 1,000 years ago. So we have our quest. Can we talk to you?
Gather the scepter keys and place them in the 4 slots around the cage. Once free...
And this one's for Grandma, who said I'd never amount to anything more than a butter knife.
We're not attacking the chromatic demon, Lillicor. We need the demon's help. Now, there's a portal here, and a portal there. One of these will bring us over to another area. Also, the demon appears to have changed form. Probably because of the kind of cage that he's in, which has 4 different elements in it. Now, if we were to use this one, it will probably take us over to the previous level. Or it brings us out to the countryside beyond the keep. This is a quick way to get back to level 2 whenever we need to. I imagine that is going to bring us to level 3. If that is, we can figure out how to open that way. So let's go about trying to find those scepters. Begin by entering this room and making sure that we're looking out for traps, because, oh, well, there's a bad problem. There is a group of vampiric mists that do not like us being here. So let's get a haste going and then very quickly back up. We'll have you attack, we'll have you start shooting here, you can attack,
I will listen.
you
for
can
now.
attack,
Yes, it is.
and you can attack. And hopefully this will be sufficient.
Mercy for those
Let's go! Okay, we managed to deal a fair amount of damage already, and one of them is either invisible or dead. Let's focus on this one for now. Nope, it's not gone. Will be in a moment, though. Okay, that one is gone. Let's deal with you. Let's have you drink a potion so that you don't perish. These vampiric mists are really dangerous. Ah, you hit Edwin there and immediately turned invisible. I preferred it if you'd have stayed visible so that I could have kept hitting you, but I'll take you being gone now. And let's get rid of this negative level. everything is as it should be. Now, you need a bit of healing before we move on, and unfortunately, you casting that spell does fatigue Laconia. Not a situation we like. Let's rest quickly and move on.
What would you have me do?
And make sure we have trap finding active once again. There is a wandering horror. Okay, that's not so good. You being there's not great. Maybe you'll just stay here though.
Died, all right.
Nope, you're not just going to stay there.
Axe be bloody
Let's
ready.
quickly see if we can deal with you. That was a nasty hit there on Hexat, but it was distraction enough, and Hexat will heal away that injury soon enough.
That is what you
Okay, let's move a bit further in. There is another enemy there. Ooh, that one is a nasty one though. That's a poison mist. Poison mists have a really devastating area of effect poison ability. We have found a trapped bookshelf.
Fear not set.
That's something that, well, you're gone. Good thing you were distracted by Hexat, just like the other one was. There are probably going to be even more traps in here, I'm sure. But I don't think
that's what
there
you
are
want.
any on the floor.
That's the best you can
Let's
manage.
get rid
I can
of
do that.
this. And have a look inside. Ooh,
Wanna go kill that over there?
wand.
Come on, let's kill something.
Is that a powerful wand? It's a wand we don't know the identity of. A wand of spell striking. Ironically, these wands are both prized and hated by wizards. They can tear down an enemy mage's defenses, but of course every mage knows the wands can also be turned against themselves. Charge abilities, Breach, which is a really nice one, and Pierce Magic. And it has 5 charges. Not bad.
I am ready.
What else do we have here that we can look at? Lots of stuff is the answer. Like this here, that has the Ecologies book, Protection from Petrification. We'll take all of these things, if only so that we can put them away in their respective containers. We have so many containers now that we can quite effectively compartmentalize all of this loot. This goes into here, and the scrolls went into various scroll cases. Now that's something I'm going to examine last, because that's probably going to be locked and or trapped. These may be, ooh. There's a trap I would have stumbled into had I have tried to go for this. Here is a handwritten note. The beautiful people are short, red and green. We'll have you hold on to that.
That's the best you can
Then we'll check this one. Just some books, that's fine. Either the music on this level is always sinister, or something really bad is going on. It's probably that the music on this level is always sinister. Ooh, magical arrows. Won't say no to them, especially considering that some of them are arrows of fire. The arrows of ice can go there.
I am
Marvellous.
ready. Very good.
Finally, we're going to look at this one. And get hit by a trap. Shouldn't have moved as far forward as I did, but we weren't killed by it, so that's fine. Does it need to be unlocked? Nope, it does not. Ooh, a horn, as well as some arrows and a note. Protected by a thin layer of magical ice, this note is remarkably well preserved. The others refuse to recognize my contribution to this project. When the demon assumes the shape of a winged red-bodied beast, it becomes vulnerable to my powerful winter magics. Yet my companions insist that their own enchantments surpass my own. The flame mage with his invincible servant is the worst, of course, but I have discovered the secret to destroying his precious giant. The fire elementals are the key. Dispatch them and the giant becomes vulnerable. I will lure each of the 4 elementals into my ice lab and destroy them in my frozen realm. This will trap their spirits in the ice crystals and keep them from being reborn in the lava pit from which they are continually spawned. Ooh, That's something we really want to know. Also, we found a type of arrow we've not seen before. Arrows of Dispelling. This arrow will remove the magical enchantments that its victim is surrounded by. Dispel magic on target when hit. We also have this. Despite a strong dweemer of magic, this ornate animal horn has no apparent use. Oh, it has a use. We just haven't stumbled across it yet.
Here, if that is what you want.
Right, let's remove this while I remember. And we will also put this there, because we
That's
don't
the best
need
you
that
can manage,
anymore.
Whatever you decide.
So we need to find the ice lab. This could very well be the ice lab over here.
Ha! That's how it's done.
We're hearing something crackle and shift. Probably the chromatic demon. Oh, there was a piece of description there that I want to... the cold air spilling from the room into the hall chills your bones, numbs your joints and stiffens your clothing, making movement difficult. I believe this is
I am
the ice lab. What about over here? Is there something this way? This is the fire lab. The crackle of flames and the smell of smoke assails your senses. A blast of heat from the room causes your skin to redden and blister. There may be
Yes.
another... There are quite a few of these doors in here that we can go past. And I imagine each of these doors will lead to a library. That's just a guess, but it's an educated one. Let's open this door and see what's in here. Probably some enemies.
What would you like?
Not what I can see right... Oh, well, there is a fire giant. Well, I think we found the library of the... we found the library of the Fire Archmage. And this opponent hits really hard, but fortunately cannot withstand all three of us attacking. And that was a lot of experience we just gained, and a suit of full plate. Won't say no to extra loot. Also won't say no to a Star Sapphire and a King's Tear, as well as a potion to make up for the one we just used.
Yes.
Marvellous.
Nothing to it.
Anyone else? Yep, there's another one. That's a little unfortunate.
What is it
Shall
now?
we haste to deal with you? We probably should. Go get 'em. Have at thee! Fire giants have a lot of strength and are pretty good at hitting people in melee, but they can easily be overwhelmed. And look what we got here! Exactly the same loot. Won't say no to exactly the same loot, because another suit of full plate. Anyone else in here? A third fire giant, maybe? No? Good.
If I
Let's
might.
check to see if there are any traps, which will probably be loads of fire traps. Nothing? Nothing. Lots of stuff we can look at, though. Like this table that has 6 potions of superior healing on it. Wow. You just hold on to them, Dawn.
That's the best you can manage.
We're gonna keep looking around. Oh, there's a trap.
I can do that.
There was a trap. It's now gone. As for, well, there's another trap. Protecting that table. Any more traps? No? Marvellous. Here's a small pile of coin. Some ammunition that we can't actually hold on to.
I'm busy, okay?
Edwin,
This
could
monkey
you
work.
go get all this? Marvellous. Ooh, there's a lot of ammunition here. Bolts of lightning, acid arrows, arrows of ice, arrows of fire. The fire arrows aren't going to be too useful in the fire area of these labs, that's for sure. Have to make sure that we switch Hexat out to some ice arrows. You can also pass those over. Brilliant. As for this area,
What should I fetch now?
nothing really valuable there. Ooh, antidotes.
I swim in
And a
memories in such a place as
handwritten
this.
note.
Most unpleasant
I
memories.
wonder what the handwritten note's about. Actually, I probably know what the handwritten note's about. Also, I put the wrong thing in here. Should really put these in the potion case instead.
You are lucky I'm
Okay,
impressive.
the handwritten note is likely going to be no magic, long blue-green, back, magic, back. Curious. Also, you are too far away right now,
That's the
Dawn.
best you can manage.
You're gonna have to go over here if you're going to hold on to that clue scroll. Now, we want to hold on to that. We'll have Corgan hold on to that one.
You have a problem?
And then
Easy
we
enough.
will look
Oh,
at...
no.
Okay, that one's not significant. Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. Only the masters are allowed in my libraries. What are you doing? I could ask you the same question. I'm just the resident whipping imp. A menial servant, a serf, a slave, a vassal. The masters couldn't care whether I live or die. Your masters are dead and gone. Dead? Huh. Not surprised, I guess. I knew trouble was brewing. The masters must have finally killed each other off. You know, I bet that explains all those screams and explosions I kept hearing a while back. At least now I know why the fans shut off. Nobody left to start them up. You mean you've just been sitting here for centuries, doing nothing? Hey! One of the masters told me to wait right here for further instructions, so I waited right here. I'm smart enough to know better than to disobey an order from one of the masters. Didn't you get bored? Or curious as to where everyone was? Look, I'm an immortal spirit, okay? What's 1,000 years to me? And if you know how the masters punish disobedience, you wouldn't have moved for 1,000 years either. With the masters dead, I've got no reason to stick around anymore. But since you did bring the news that I'm free to go, I'll help you out. This whole place is powered by a magical fan. Without it, all the labs shut down. If you want to find anything besides empty rooms, you should start that fan up again. There were 4 masters, and each kept a library and a lab. Air, slime, cold, and fire were the magics that they practiced. The masters' pets and creations probably still inhabit their labs, so beware. Some of them are near unkillable if you don't know how to hurt them. A little hint for you. The masters were always planning to kill each other. Each master could use his unique elemental power against one of the others. So before you go stumbling into something you can't handle, you should check out all the libraries. The masters were into some pretty strange stuff. But at least they kept written lab notes of their work. These notes would be invaluable. Wait, I still have more questions to ask you. Sorry I've wasted enough time hanging around here already. One last tip. Go to the air lab first. It's behind me. The fan has 2 settings, high and low. That might be important. And now I'm gone. And Hexa got hit by a fire arrow.
Very good.
And when we come back, folks, we have stuff that needs to be read. And we've been told to go to the air lab first. Maybe we can do something with those fans and figure out how to deal with each of the near unkillable creatures by looking at all of the notes and then checking out that fan. The fan does seem to be the key to all this. And when we come back, folks, we'll continue searching those libraries and then check out the labs.
Go bother someone
This place
else.
appears to be one massive puzzle, but considering that the previous floor was also one massive puzzle, that's not too surprising. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.